Hey, it's Tara, she of all things transformational, transformational bodywork, transformational guidance coaching, and for our purposes here today, transformational yoga. Today we're going to work on doing some things to open up the shoulders. And I'm sure that some of you know that shoulders are a big deal. Can get really bound, especially if we're doing things that are repetitive motions with the arms or that don't include a lot of repetitive motion like desk work or lifting heavy weights, etc., etc. I'm a massage therapist, right? So as a massage therapist, it's been really important for me to attend to keeping my shoulders open and healthy to enable me to continue to do my job since 1997 and also comfortably stay strong, stay supple, and not end up with a kyphotic posture where I'm rounding the upper back too much. So, for many reasons, almost everybody could probably stand to do a little bit of attention to the shoulders. So we're going to go through a few things today, and today what you're going to need for props is a strap and some blocks. If you don't have a strap, go find something like a bathrobe belt or a long dog leash or something like that. Blocks, you could use a step stool or something. Even a chair would work okay for today. So the first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to just start to make some shoulder circles, and you can really be pretty dynamic about this. You don't need to do any specific action, but do every action and try to feel the shoulder blades, your scapula, moving on the back of your body as much as they can. So I think about pretending that I'm trying to paint the back of my rib cage with my scapula, and I want to cover as much surface area as possible. Okay, so after you've done that for a little bit, and you can always pause the video and do more if it feels good. Sometimes I'll do this for quite a while. We're going to take our strap and go overhead with the strap, and you will need a nice long length of strap between your hands. You can widen the feet to give yourself a good base. And the idea here is as we move, please try to keep your elbows extended. So if that means you need to take more length between your hands, go for it. You never need to try to suffer here to get what we're doing, to get it done, okay? That's not the idea. So we're gonna just tip over to the right. You can push the left hip out a little bit if you want, and reach out through the left arm, out and over, rooting down through the left foot, and then coming up, and repeat over to the left, reaching out with your right arm, reaching up and over. You can push that right hip out a bit, breathe into the right side of the body, and come up. And then this time, when you go right, you're also going to just twist a little bit to the left. So I'm really reaching up and over through that left arm, but I'm giving a little bit of twist to the left. And then I'm going to come up and repeat, going to the left and twisting just a little bit to the right. So I'm kind of almost like looking behind or under my right armpit. And coming up, center, and as wide as you need your hands to be to try to keep the elbows extended and bring those arms down behind you. Good. You can give yourself a little rest for one breath here, and then we're going to bring the hands quite a bit closer together so that you're holding the strap between the hands with the palms of the hands facing the hips and the elbows again in extension. So we don't want the elbows bent and the shoulders rounding forward. We want to open up the front of the chest, extend the elbows, bring the weight to the heels, stabilize the pelvis, your hips, lift up through the chest, and try to reach the hands back and down a little bit. Some of you may be able to clasp hands and do all this, keeping the elbows extended, and some of you may need more space between your hands. So either way is fine. The idea here is that you're opening up across the front, drawing the shoulder blades together, and bringing that external rotation to the arms. And then release and come back. You can drop the strap for 1 second. Take Tadasana. Feet about hip width apart, palms open to face forward. Lift the toes, rock back on the heels. Come to the plumb line. Feel the quadriceps in the front of the thighs, the muscles in the back of your arms, triceps, back of your hands, top of the feet. Your back muscles all engage a little bit here for Tadasana. Good. And then relax and raise the arms to be palms forward. So from palms forward, we're just going to clear up what is internal and what is external rotation. So when you flip your palms to face the ceiling, that is external arm rotation. You are rotating your humerus bone in the socket, shoulder socket, externally. Palm up, soft eye at the elbow facing up, external rotation. Please feel how the shoulder blades come together in this position. When you come back to neutral and then flip the palms down and maybe even backwards, this is internal arm rotation. Your upper arm your humerus bone is turning inward in the shoulder socket, internal arm rotation. So please know that, because I'm going to use these directions in this tutorial. External, internal, external, internal. Okay, good. So from there, let's grab our strap again. And we're going to take the strap overhead in the right arm, and you're going to take internal rotation of the left arm, bringing that arm behind you and just reaching up through the right arm, but I'm pulling down on the strap. So I have internal rotation of the left arm, reaching up through the right arm. And then you can switch, reach up through the left arm, internally rotate the right arm, grab the strap, and pull down. So the left hand reaches up, and you're drawing down through the right arm. Good. And then release the strap. Take the right wrist in your left hand and draw it across the back so that you're starting to open up the right shoulder and neck, and then tip the head up and over to the left. Up and over. I don't like to think of down because I don't want to compress the left neck vertebrae. I want to lengthen the right. So up and over. Breathe into that. And then release and switch. Slide the left arm across the low back. Hold the left wrist and tip the head up and over to the right. Up and over. Good. Couple good breaths here. There's so many things we could do for the shoulders. Today is just a short few. Okay, so give those arms a little shake. We're going to take the strap again. Now, if you're a righty, do what I do in the sequence I do it. If you're a lefty, you're just going to do everything that I do on the right side first. You're going to do it on your left side first, okay? So for most of us, we're going to take the strap in our right hand, reach up with the right hand. You're going to internally rotate the left arm, and this time you're going to bring the left hand as far up the back as you can, palm facing out, and bring the right hand down to meet it. Now, if the hands meet each other, great. You clasp the hands. If they don't, fine. You have the strap, and you can have as much or as little space. You know, if there's a lot of shoulder boundness, then take more space. If you have quite a bit of openness and you just need a little help, take less space. Whatever you end up with, you're going to try to move that right tricep to face forward and lift the elbow up towards the ceiling. So we're really getting a lot of openness in the right armpit, the right shoulder. And you can feel how this, the hands press into the back a little bit, lifting the chest. So you're coming into also some back extension. This is also a great front opener. I'm going to try not to jut the head forward, but in fact, slightly press the head back. Good. And then from here, when you're ready to come out, don't snap the hands out. Gently let them out. Drop the strap into the left arm and take a second between sides. And then we're going to do it on the other side. So there's a good chance that when you bring your dominant arm behind you, you're probably going to find that you're a little more bound. So first, strap in the left hand, reach up, internally rotate that right arm, and then bring the left arm down. So you can see I have a little less, contact here. Some days I don't even get contact. Some days I get more. Today is a little bit better because I've practiced already. Open things up. But some days I need, several inches of strap. So I attend to my body as it is on the day. And then from here, we're going to point the elbow towards the ceiling and direct the tricep to face forward. And do our best to not jut the head forward. So you might bring the weight to the heels a little bit, lift the chest bone, and allow the head to be somewhat pressing back. Good. When you're ready to come out, gently release the arms. Come out real nice and easy. And let the arms just relax for a second. Okay, so just put the strap down for a second. Let's hug the right arm over the left. Take a good breath here. You can bow your head down. Feel the shoulder blades splaying apart and breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. And then give a little weight to the tops of your shoulders so that you're kind of, I won't say pulling, but you're just creating a little bit of heaviness there to draw them away from the ears. Breathe into the back. Good. And then release. Okay, we're going to apply this now into triangle pose. So what we're going to need is a brick. Now, we haven't opened up our legs at all in this video. If you have really tight inner thigh muscles or hamstrings, what you're probably going to want to do is have 2 bricks stacked upon each other or a chair. If you're pretty open, we'll see what happens. Maybe 1 brick is enough. You can always take away. It's easier to take away than to scramble and add more. So I always suggest going higher, and then if you don't need it, you don't need it. Then the other piece of what we're going to need is we're going to use the strap. So we're going to do this triangle pose working with the arms in a bind position so that we can kind of amplify what we do with the hips using the arms. So I'm actually going to turn my back to you so you can see what happens behind me in the pose. The strap, let's see, if I go with my right foot forward and my left foot back, the block is going to be to the block or blocks or whatever you use is going to be to the outside of my right foot. And the strap is going to be around my right upper thigh as such, okay? Big step, nice big step. Just hold the strap here. Nice big step. And make sure that those back toes are turned in a little. So it's front heel to the back arch, back toes turned in. And you're just going to bring the left hand to the strap at first and start to pull back on the strap. So as you pull back on the strap, what's happening here is that you're pulling this thigh bone back. And notice I'm also drawing my left shoulder blade back. Can you see here how this shoulder blade is pulling towards the spine? And then from here, you can reach forward through the right arm. And when you feel like you've come to maximum without rounding, I don't want you to round the back. or lose this action in to the interior of your left shoulder blade, then you bring the hand down. Maybe you're up here, maybe you're here, maybe you're here, maybe you're here, maybe you're lower. I'm going to choose here just for the sake of the video. And then from here, I'm going to internally rotate this right arm and start to slide the back of the hand towards my waist or hip, and then start to pull back some more. Now, if you want, you can place your left hand on the right upper thigh and pull back that way. So it's causing me to what's called ground the femur bone, which is giving me more space on the underside, which would be the right side of my pose here. Notice that I'm not humping my body into a C curve, lateral flexion, but I'm keeping a lot of length, and this is helping me keep that length. Now, if you want, you can bring, internally rotate your right arm, bring it under the right leg, and clasp hands in the front. I'm going to show you what this looks like in the front now, because it could be a little confusing, right? So, I've got the brick. I'm going to take the strap in the left hand. It's around the right thigh, and I'm pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, hand to the brick, and then it works on my body for me to bring that hand to the top of this right thigh bone. And I can pull the flesh and the bone back a little bit, which helps me to elongate the spine a little bit more. And then from there, I can internally rotate the right arm. That means turn it in, bring it down, and bring the hands together and pull the thigh bone back a little bit more. This is for people who are really open. If you're not that open, then what you could do is you could have your left hand to the outside of the hip. In fact, I would probably, in this case, shimmy it out of the strap. I have the back of my hand on the waist or the outside of the hip, and then I'm pulling back with the right hand. So if you need to stay higher up, you stay higher up and just use the strap to pull back with the right hand, back and down. Okay? So you can play around with that, and we'll do it on both sides. So since I've already done it on the right side, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the left side. If you need to rewind the video so that you can do it along with me on the right side, just go ahead and do that. Okay. So left foot forward, take the strap to the left hip. Start with that heel to arch, back arch alignment, back toes turned in. And you're going to start to pull back using your right hand. Pull the top of that left thigh back. Reach forward with the right arm. And when you feel like you can't pull any farther without starting to round the spine, and remember, we're keeping that right shoulder blade towards the spine. We're opening up the front of the chest. Then the left hand comes to the brick. Good. And then from there, if you can, you slide the back of the right hand to the outer left hip or waist. If you can, you then can bring it to kind of grab that upper flesh of your left leg and draw that flesh back. Now, if you want to add the next piece of it, I'm gonna take my hand out of the strap, and you can bring the left hand to the strap and pull it back and down. So I'm continuing to rotate open through the chest, pull that right thigh back. Then if you want to go one more step, you're gonna internally rotate the left arm behind you and then bring it up towards the upper left thigh. See, I don't have the bind here because my right shoulder is more bound. So in this case, I'm going to use the strap. Good. And then inhale, come up. And you can bring the legs together. Take the strap off. And actually, you know what? We're going to keep the strap. We're going to do one more pose with a bind. So this pose we're going to do is side angle pose. So you're going to take that same heel to arch alignment, right foot forward. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crawl, internally rotate my front arm and crawl it under the thigh. And I'm going to internally rotate the left arm behind me and crawl it out. And then I'm going to bring them together in the bind behind me. So I'll show this from behind so you also see that. And you can always use the strap between the hands if you don't make the bind. So let me show it from the back view. This is my right leg. If you're going to do it along with me, start with the right leg forward. You're going to bend that right knee, bring the right arm in front, internally rotate it so that your right shoulder is kind of in front of the right knee. You might not be able to get down that high. That's fine. You can stay up, get down that low. Stay up higher if you can't get down that low. And internally rotate the left arm, bring it behind. You either make the bind with the arms or you hold the strap. Either way, you're getting an excellent stretch, deep opening to the legs and to the shoulders. Okay, let's do it with the other side. So, let's see. Left foot forward, right foot back. You're going to have the strap, probably easier to keep it in your back hand to drop it. So, bend that left knee over the ankle. Internally rotate the left arm. If you can, you have the shoulder in front of the knee. Internally rotate, reach behind you. Internally rotate the right arm, reach behind you. See if you make the clasp, turn the chest open. If you don't make the clasp, hold the strap and pull back. Either way, you're getting a great opening in the front inner thigh and in the chest. Exhale, come out. You can always stay as long as you want. I'd rather have you stay up higher, holding the strap, and be more open in your chest than kind of try to make the bind, close the chest, and turn towards the floor. So sometimes less is more, and these are kind of, they're sort of extreme poses. So don't feel like you have to make the bind for the pose to be effective. It's just a sort of a way we're playing. Okay, so you've stood in Tadasana with me for a minute. We're gonna counterpose these by again bringing the right arm over the left. We're gonna do eagle pose, Gordasana. So from here, you can wind the two arms up together. I have my left fingertips in my right palm. And I'm gonna bend the knees for Gordasana. Cross the leg, right leg over the left. Keep the right toes either on the floor beside, to the side of the calf, or wrap around. The two thighs really squeeze together, much like the two arms. So you have one arm and one leg in essence. Breathe into the upper back and into the shoulders. Draw the elbows away and up. Forearms away, fingertips up. Keep the eyes fixed on one unmoving spot. That is your drishti, your gaze point, and it helps with your balance. Draw up through the lower belly. And when you're ready to come out, and switch. Left arm over right, you can go right into the twist. If you can't make the twist, how about do the hug? Or keep your arms in a V shape. Bend the knees, a little buoyancy in the knees. Stay vertical, stay upright through the trunk. Bring the weight to the right foot. Cross the left. Keep the foot either toes on the floor, foot to the outside of the right ankle, outside the right calf, or wrap around. Squeeze the thighs together, draw up through the lower belly. Keep your eyes fixed on one unmoving spot. Breathe into that upper back and shoulders. Forearms can draw forward, fingertips up. And exhale, and come out and return to mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a few breaths in Tadasana. Relax the shoulders. So it'd be really great for you to do a good relaxation pose right now. You can lay down on the floor, set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, do some deep breathing and allow yourself to relax, or find a Shavasana video in my playlist and see if that might help you also relax. I really appreciate you spending some time. I have lots more juicy tidbits for shoulders. So keep checking things out. We explore all sorts of body parts and all sorts of ways that we can use our bodies to help ourselves care for our bodies. So I thank you. Do all the things that we do when we like a video. Give it a like, give it a comment, share it with somebody you know. Thank you.